Eli. Grandma's having so much fun that I thought I'd read another book. And this one is called See Through the Sea. And it's very old. 1955, actually. See Through the Sea by Millicent, Selsam, and Betty Morrow. I like the pictures. Oh, here we go. Here is the ocean. It's tremendous, even when you're looking at the top. Oceans and seas cover more than 2/3 of the surface of the earth. If you leave the land and sail out over the ocean, the water is shallow at first. Then it gets deeper and deeper and deeper until you are on top of the water that goes down for miles. Miles. Look at the floor of the ocean in this picture. See how gently it slopes down at first, then it takes a sudden plunge to the deep abyss of the ocean? This picture is empty, but the sea really teems with life of all kinds. Some of the living things in the oceans are plants, like seaweed. Others are animals of every shape and size. They may be as tiny as snowflakes, or they may be enormous. Some you will know right away, but others will be the strangest animal you've ever seen. Even though it's all in the water, the sea is not all the same. The warm sunlit waters on the top are very different from the brilliant blue middle waters, and the middle waters are not at all like the icy black waters of the far depths of the sea. In each part of the sea, the plants and animals are different. Turn the pages of this book and you will see through the sea where it is shallow, deeper, and deepest. You will find many kinds of creatures that live in the different parts of the sea. The round diagram on each page will show you exactly what part of the sea you're looking at. All right, let's go. All the boats on top of the ocean. All right, here we go, we're on shore. Here's a strip of beach at the very edge of the sea. At low tide, it is part of the land, but at high tide, it is underwater. The animals here can live either in the water or out of it, but they always have to be wet. When the tide goes out, you'll find them buried in the wet sand. Thousands of animals live here. Where land and sea meet, you won't find too many of them on a flat, sandy beach. But even there, if you follow tracks in the sand, you may poke around a round velvety sand dollar or a baby horseshoe crab at the trail's end. If you dig, you may discover long-necked clams that squirt water out at you, or sand crabs that burrow away from you as fast as they can. On a rocky beach, it's different. Turn over a rock or bunches of seaweed and you will see hundreds of little creatures scurrying out of sight. Look at there, they are playing down here. They're playing in the ocean, or playing on the beach. As the tide goes out, it leaves little pools. Here you can get a really good look at the shore animals. You can easily pick out the starfish, crabs, and snails. But now you find barnacles in their white limestone shells stuck to the rock. The dark blue mussels cling to the rock behind them. And there's a sea urchin with its spine sticking out all over. Next to it is a long sandworm where you can use for fish bait. If you wiggle your feet in the pool, little glassy shrimp may tickle your toes. Wow. So let's see. We've got the sand dollar, some mussels, the sea star, the crab. Oh, there's the barnacles. Just beyond low tide are the shallow waters, bright with sunlight and bouncy with waves. Look at the tiny fish. These minnows swim very fast. They are hard to catch unless you use a big net. On the rock is a sea cucumber. Most of the body is leathery and brownish and shaped like a cucumber. See, it's right there. But at its mouth end is short branching tentacles that look like seaweed. Jellyfish are riding in and out with the waves, opening and closing their delicate pink umbrellas. Lots of seaweed grows here. The sea lettuce looks like thin green lettuce leaves floating on the water. And there's plenty of brown seaweed with little air bladders that go pop when you press them between your fingers. Now put on some goggles, gulp down some air, hold your breath, and dive into these greenish, yellowish waters. You can look around for the sea animals that live on the sandy bottom. What a fine seafood dinner you can find. There is a lobster catching a crab with its powerful claws, right there. If you put your hand down, you may touch the smooth round shells of clams. Or you may pull your hand back quickly if you feel the rough shell of an oyster. Perhaps you will see a starfish pulling out an oyster shell apart to eat the juicy oyster inside. Oh, there it is. You probably can't hold your breath underwater for more than a minute. You are not like the sea animals that can take their oxygen from the water around them. If you want to spend time looking under the sea, you must have an air pump to you. You can wear a diving helmet into which air is pumped through a rubber hose, or you can take your air down with you in an aqua lung. The tanks strapped to your back are full of air, which a hose brings to your mouth. You have a glass mask over your eyes and nose. Once you get under the water, you feel light as a feather. Why don't we stop here, and tomorrow we'll see what he sees when he goes down. Okay? I love you.